Hello everyone. Hope that you can hear me. Nice to meet you actually. So this is Emma, your favorite host in the crypto industry. So just wait for our speaker and other people. Hi, DP, can you hear? Okay, Dennis, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Ready to go.
Okay, yes, definitely. Thank you everyone for having here, and special thanks goes to the Crypto Eagles community for this nice arrangement, actually. And also, guys, this is to inform you that today we will learn more about, I can say, the real world asset and also the Blocksquare, the plan and program, any utilities and everything. So for this, you need to stay tuned with us actually. So I can say a bit about this project, which is the Blocksquare, specialized in the tokenization of real estate asset that enabling the business to digitize the property value and build accessible the blockchain based investment platforms actually. So we have Dennis, our speaker today. So Dennis, could you please introduce yourself first for people? Then could you say a bit about your project actually in front of us? Thank you. Go for it.
Sure thing, Emma. Thank you for the introduction. We haven't had the pleasure to have you on the Crypto Eagles AMAs before, so I welcome you to the team, I guess. So yeah, Blocksquare is a project we started back in 2017 to 18 officially. We had the vision of tokenizing real estate. Basically, we saw that in the future all real estate will be tokenized. And fast forward to today, we're a team of about 35, 37 people spread across the world. We all with the same vision to bring real estate value on chain. We've tokenized a little bit less than 150 million worth of real estate assets that are listed on more than 15 marketplaces operated by other companies that utilize our infrastructure. Um, and so our scope, we approach real estate tokenization is we built this set of tools, and protocols, legal frameworks that we are constantly improving and upgrading. And we offer this as a software solution for any real estate company that wants to enter into the RWA space and bring their real estate assets that they can manage, control, or own to their audience. So investors in their community. Um, yeah, so that's a bit about Blocksquare.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Happy to know about the Blocksquare actually. So, guys, they have their website. You can know from like detail from their website also. By the way, we'll discuss more about their utilities, like who can benefit from here. I think the real estate owner can attract the boundaries investor pools and unlock some liquidity, and the marketplace operators can launch the branded platforms to fractionalize the property, asset, and so on. So could you share more detail, like who can benefit from using your Blocksquare tokenization solution?
Um, so if you look at real estate as an asset class, I say it a lot of times, I repeat myself, but that's a fact. It's the largest asset class in the world, period. If you add all of the other asset types together, um, you don't reach the market cap of real estate. Now, when it comes to real estate, there's another fact, which is that most real estate investments are being done in only 60 cities worldwide. So 60 cities receive 95+% of all the capital that is invested every year in real estate. Everything else is being neglected. Now, this neglection means illiquidity. What is illiquidity? Is insufficiency of capital for deals to happen. When deals don't happen, it's really hard when you invest in a real estate asset as a real estate owner to then sell it, so to have your exit, because the amount of buyers on the other end is fairly small. Now, another fact for real estate is that it's a big investment. It's not something you can do overnight. It's something you need to plan for, especially for individuals. when it comes to companies and institutions, these things become a bit more affordable or easier to target because there's the pockets are just bigger, right? But if you look at the average person, um, they will never be able to own real estate. And if they do, that real estate asset, it will be probably their primary home, primary residence. When it goes outside of the primary residence, so to something that is either a secondary residence that might be even leased out occasionally, that's already something that a very, very small minority of people can afford to do. And when it comes to investment real estate, that's those numbers even go even lower. And so tokenization kind of brings all these players together in a very easy way through tokens. So on one side, you have property owners that are able to tokenize the real estate assets in illiquid markets. And on the other end, you have people that all of a sudden have access to be able to invest in these assets. So when you match those two, you create potential for liquidity in markets that have been financially neglected, as I mentioned earlier. Now, what do you need to make this happen is a market. You need a marketplace, a place where these people meet. These opportunities are presented in an orderly fashion, in a comprehensive way, with all the data being structured there. So this is exactly what the marketplace operators come in to do, to kind of bring opportunities because they have the the connections, they have the understanding of a specific market, they know who are the owners and which deals are good, and they can bring them on their marketplace, and that's their USP. And on the other end, you have the investors who will build out trust towards specific marketplace operators over time because they will be investing with them over and over again. And so that's kind of the
Okay.
infrastructure and the solution that we bring to the table.
Yes, yes, got it. I think the real estate owners can unlock the liquidity and attract a broader pool of investors. The marketplace that operates can create the branded platforms to offer the fractionalization, like the property asset. And also, guys, they have their mission. I can say, like the with their real estate tokenization protocol, entrepreneurs can start distinguishing the real estate asset as a fraction of the cost. So they have a lot of utilities. I can say you can just check this out from their white paper website also. So as for I know, Danish, like the tokenization platform is expanding nowadays. So how is tokenization transforming the real estate investment? How do you think?
Well, as I mentioned, that in theory it makes the investment more liquid, but how in reality what happens is, so if it's a bit more complex, right? Um, Real estate as an asset class, it's a large asset class, and within it you have different types of real estate. You have cash flowing real estate, which is already kind of built out, rented out. Or you might have projects that are like a development project that might need years before it becomes, or before it yields for investors. Um, you might have land that might appreciate in value over time. Maybe there's zoning changes. So there's different business models within real estate. When you tokenize any of those types of real estate, you create something new, a new layer to the traditional so-called capital stack of a real estate investment. So let's say a very simple model is where you invest in a property to lease it out. It's an existing property. Let's say something that anyone would be able to picture. Let's say an apartment, and you would rent it out through Airbnb, right? Now that Airbnb is activity is gonna create specific revenues for the property, but you might want to purchase the property in a way where you buy some money from your end and some money comes from the bank. So this is a very traditional capital stack. Let's say 50% is your payment, and 50% the bank comes in. So you have some obligations to repay the debt that the bank provided. Now, imagine you are able to add a layer between those two, and that layer is called tokenization. So now you have, let's say, the goal of tokenizing 20% of this property's value. So with our standard, you would basically tokenize and issue 20,000 tokens. And depending on the value of the property, the tokens would have a different price. So let's say the property is worth $1 million, the price would be 10. So it means 20,000 tokens would bring you in something around $200,000 worth of liquidity. And that's what we mean by creating real estate investments more liquid, because before tokenization, that option was not on the table. And you had no way of achieving that.
Okay, got it. Thank you for this answer. So just give me a minute. Okay, like you made an announcement, I can see in your Twitter that you're very proud to share that Blocksquare has been selected to the join the European Blockchain Sandbox, which is a program by European Commission that bringing together 20 of the most innovative blockchain projects. Could you share why this sandbox program is very significant for you?
That's a good question, actually. And it's a recent news. So it's something that I think we were able to announce yesterday, or something yesterday, or maybe the day before. Um, uh, this European regulatory sandbox for blockchain companies, it's actually very, very helpful. One of the goals is for through that process, through that sandbox, we're able to talk to so many regulators within Europe. And as you know, Europe has many countries, so each country has its own regulator. Then there's the regulator overseeing all of Europe as well. So it's a complex, dialogue that you need to lead. Why now? We wanted to apply in the first cohort or in the second one, but we said let's pause until the third. The complexities of the legal structure that is underlying each tokenization need to be addressed in a comprehensive way. And us being the third cohort means that the regulators have learned from the first and the second cohort how these things work, right? How the sandbox works. So they have that experience and they will be able to help us the most. At the same time, we've done a ton of legal research last year in collaboration with CMS Law, which is one of the biggest European law firms, um, and have improved the tokenization frameworks that we have in place. Plus, MiCA regulation came into force, and there is much more clarity on how MiCA regulation works, which is
Okay, you can continue the last part of this question. I think we lost in this actual like why this is significant, and also do you have any plan after the sandbox program, like any other program that you have in your pipeline you can share with us?
well, currently this from a regulatory perspective, the sandbox, the European blockchain sandbox, is a priority. I'm not sure if there's going to be any other programs. Probably for the European Union, that's all we need. But there might be programs in other jurisdictions that we target, like the UK, the US, and Australia, that might have other similar programs, and we'll be definitely applying for those as well.
Okay, thank you, Dennis, for this amazing answer. Actually, okay, so just give me a minute. I need to take some. Okay, yeah. Thank you guys for stay tuned. And also guys, like the European Blockchain Sandbox, which is an initiative by the European Commission, as I mentioned earlier, And the Blocksquare that acceptance into the third, I can say, corner validates its literally robust real estate tokenization framework and highlights its commitment to compliance across the multiple EU jurisdictions actually. So wish you good luck for the future. And also, I can see you have your native token, which is BST, I think. And also, people, you can buy their token from different exchanges. So just have a look their Twitter. I can see like MEXC and others. Lot of exchanges they are available right now. You can check this out. So can you answer one of my question, like how the restaking of your SBTS is in the marketplace pool works and the associated rewards work?
Okay. Yeah. So we have Blocksquare token, which is a utility token used throughout our ecosystem. And BST is traded on DEXs and SEXs, and basically it's available for trading as well, right? And it's a reward token as well. It's used to distribute rewards to participants in our ecosystem. Now, when you stake BST, you basically receive in return our governance token, which is staked BST or SBST. With this governance token, you are earning a small yield. So it's a small passive yield that you earn through it, and this yield is distributed in BST. And then you can use it to steer the direction of where the DAO is going, right? And one of the most important functionalities of it in the past year has been the so-called launchpad. Now, if you see us as this infrastructure provider, it means that there's companies who would like to use our infrastructure. And to use our infrastructure, what they need is BST. Now, they need a specific amount of BST to be able to operate the marketplace, and that is 100,000 staked BST, which the underlying BST can vary, but it's around roughly just below 400,000 BST currently. So it's quite a large amount. Now it depends obviously on the price of the market, right? Um, but it's an amount that requires a sort of crowd to get together and give support to a specific marketplace operator. So this launchpad is a way where you can kind of restake your staked BST to earn additional yield on top of it. And what you need to do is you need to follow our launchpad activities. There's projects coming on the launchpad on a monthly basis. I think we've done currently 13 of them. And basically, each of these projects is unique. It's a different company from a different country with a different edge on the market that is trying to bring tokenized real estate to their audience of investors. And so all of this is presented through our forums, discussed between the community, and then basically when the launchpad campaign goes live, you people in our community can use their staked BST to pledge support for a specific marketplace. Now, this pledging of that support means they need to lock up their staked BST for at least 6 months, and they will be earning a yield for 6 months. After 6 months, they can decide to withdraw it or keep supporting that marketplace. The decision to withdraw it might be because that marketplace is not active anymore, or maybe they're not reaching the goals that they have said that they would. And so this means, they stop supporting that marketplace, and that marketplace might need to provide the rest of the amount that's required on their own. Or they might keep on going with them because they see a lot of progress and they want to see that project succeed. But the important fact is that their stake BST is never at risk. So it's always completely safe. And it's basically just can be allocated to different marketplaces in our ecosystem. And it's a way of kind of giving a vote for a specific marketplace to be able to operate their marketplace with us.
Yes, definitely. I agreed. Thank you for this amazing information. So guys, yes, like their token that offering passive yield and governance rights by restaking their token on the Ocean Point Launchpad, users can allocate tokens to a marketplace pool to their choice that earning additional BDS rewards. So this action also support the marketplace operators by helping them reduce software licensing cost, promoting the more affordable platform, the deployment with the Blocksquare infrastructure. And also they have other utilities, I think, like if you buy their token, if you hold it, you can be part of their community, definitely. So yeah, just do it. I already shared. You can see there like a space where you can buy. So there are a lot of like MEXC, Bitmart Exchange, Gate.io, Coin Metro, and also they're in decentralized exchanges like the One Inch and also Uniswap. So just check it out, guys. So there is another question: how is the tokenization revolutionizing the real estate industry in Europe? Can you explain?
Uh, Well, I think that tokenization is about to revolutionize not just the Europeans kind of real estate market, but markets in general when it comes to real estate, but as well other asset classes. We're talking about the RWAs quite a lot in the past year or two. Um, to be specific to your question in terms of the of the European Union, um, so the European Union or countries in the European Union have a specific type of law that's known as continental law, and all these countries have one thing in common: they all have a land registry, which maybe some other countries like the U.S. don't have. These land registries are usually kind of um, um, extensions of the court. So they are managed by the country itself, right? And authority over certain things that happen within it are given to notaries. The notary publics are trustworthy officers that have the ability to enter certain inscriptions on titles of a specific property. And what we are doing, and we've done this successfully in 2023 as a pilot in Slovenia, is we've been able to register a tokenized real estate property, so the rights that these token holders have in the land registry itself. Now, this means that when you hold tokens, there's a charge on that title of that property that prevents the owner of the property, so the legal owner of the property, to resell the asset without paying back the token holders. So it's in essence, in simple terms, this means that you have direct executability over the title if things are not done as you expected. And that kind of gives the token holder um, the same amount of security as a bank would have when the bank loans out, makes a loan to a property owner and collateralizes it with a charge on the title. So it's kind of the same position given to an individual as a bank has. And I think that's quite important because in the end, you need to feel safe when you're making your investments, and you need to know that your investments are not going to just go to zero, especially when it comes to real estate investments where yields are much more modest than what people are used in crypto. But and for a good reason, because the risks are obviously lower, and they should be lower even with, or it should be in the same kind of category of risk when it comes to tokenized real estate. It shouldn't be any different. So I think this kind of innovation that we have been bringing to the market in Europe is quite new. And going back to the regulatory sandbox, this is an opportunity for us to bring it, more towards the surface, so that regulators become aware that there is this legal framework where you can tokenize real estate this way, and that it should be highlighted.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. And also, like as you know, guys, the global scale of tokenization of RWA that has surged from 13.5 billion to 2024 to projects that I can say exceeding the 50 million by year end the 2025 actually. And also, like I can say, this growth is driven by the undeniable advantages of tokenization, the faster settlements, and so and also that the reduce the transaction cost and increase the transparency and liquidity across the asset classes and so on. Thank you for this amazing answer. So, how does the Blocksquare position itself as a global partner of the real estate investment? How do you think?
Well, that's a tough question. um, I believe that the potential of tokenization is that you can bring a global audience to a very much local business in the end. Real estate is a very local thing. Um, One company might have expertise in dealing with real estate investments, let's say in Barcelona, Spain, but they might not have the same edge when it comes to Malaga, Spain. It's the same country, but two different cities, and hence, you don't know the people there. You don't know you're not in the know of the opportunities there. Perhaps it depends on the size of the company, of course. Um, it also depends on the type of asset that that company is dealing with. But the important thing is that if you structure and standardize the process of tokenization, any tokenized real estate asset anywhere in the world can be presented in the same way. This means that it has the potential to attract a global audience. So, a company that's doing really well in residential investments in Barcelona can utilize our technology and bringing to the attention of millions of users online from everywhere around the world who would be eager to invest in Barcelona real estate. Um, and I think that's a huge potential because it shifts how real estate can be traded or can be executed in many parts of the world that have, let's say, that are not in the top 60 cities that get all the financial attention of the world nowadays through the funds and the banks that invest in those markets. Because in the end, who are the funds and the banks? It's basically our money. It's the money of the people that is entrusted to these institutions. And these institutions make the decision to invest in municipalities where they have enough liquidity so that they can have the targeted exits at the point in time they need to. But that means that it brings too much uh, too much inequality of opportunity around the world. And this means that a lot of people migrate to these 60 cities around the world to find opportunity, to find jobs, to find prosperity. And that's kind of the whole deal when it comes globally to real estate investments. So with tokenization, I believe we can shift the direction into or shift things into a different direction potentially. Um, let's see how things evolve in 10 years, 15 years from now. It's a long way to go, but the beginnings are happening now.
Okay, thank you for this. I think like the I can say that I can see in 2025 actually the tokenization is reshaping the real estate and the block square that allows the fractional ownership of the real asset globally, eliminating some kind of the bottlenecks and enabling liquidity like forever and so on. So could you share some of your future plan with us so that people can know more about your the pipeline?
Sorry, can you just repeat the last one?
Yeah. could you share a bit about your future development plan, like in this 2025 or after that, 2026, according to your pipeline or your roadmap?
Sure thing, sure thing. So basically, it's like we've already achieved a couple things this year that we wanted to achieve. So we established a new company in Luxembourg. So Blocksquare Luxembourg had been established at the beginning of this year, just how we planned. Um, we have done the launch of the V2 of the marketplace, I think a month ago or a couple of weeks ago. So that's had been completed. It's a lot of work that has been done basically by the engineering team in 2024, and it's now come to fruition. So I invite everyone who just wants to take a look at it to visit one of our marketplaces. For instance, oceanpoint.fi has a marketplace. You can go there and visit how the UI works and all of it. We're now in the final stages on bringing a revamped, kind of from the ground up, redesigned Ocean Point D app. So it's the kind of second iteration of it. Um, and then there's a quite a big news that's going to go out soon in the next. So currently we are officially launching in 2 days the token, or in one day, sorry, the Tokenytics platform is going to go live. So I invite everyone to follow this in our channels and see what it's all about. It's about bringing more transparency to tokenized real estate, and it's a very kind of unique value proposition. It's kind of the Bloomberg for tokenized real estate, if you will. And then I'll give you a bit of just a bit of alpha there, but people who follow us know about it. There's been quite a lot of development on Ocean Point, particularly on something called the point token. If you don't know what it is, make sure to follow us because we'll be doing an announcement within the next 2 weeks. And I'm sure that that thing is going to be quite worth your attention.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Thank you. So I think like you have your long-term plan. I can see like at your the Blocksquare that they're turning this vision into the reality. I think like with over 144.9 million in tokenization, like tokenized real estate across 28 countries, and the 50 marketplace for as the little as 200 USDT, I can say. So, guys, you can own a fraction of high yield properties, like no mortgage there, no credit checks, no debit stays there. You can get like they are more flexible. I can say less financial pressure. You can get there faster asset accumulation and so on. So this is the bit about I can say about the Brook Square for the future. But Danish, could you answer one of my another question? I think like how do you plan to attract more people in your ecosystem? Like what are your marketing plans for this?
So currently, as everyone who's in Web3 knows, we're a bit of a down pressure overall. I think the Ethereum ecosystem has suffered quite a lot, and we're part of that ecosystem. But nonetheless, our marketing goals are kind of the same as they were before. We would like to just, keep on spreading the love on tokenized real estate all around. We are an infrastructure provider, so what we do the best thing we do is attract new marketplace operators to come and work with us. We've been successfully doing this through the Launchpad, which you can all check out. The currently, I think there's a campaign currently going on with a UK provider, Oxygen Block. I think right now they're at 66% raised. The previous one from the US, from Florida, Vera Group, raised the target amount in just 1 hour. So that was kind of really, really great to see. There was a lot of traction there. And our marketing is usually tied to the developments of all these marketplace operators. So we're working closely with them to reach new audiences that we could not reach without them. So it's always kind of in partnership with our users, the businesses that utilize our infrastructure.
Okay, yeah, wish you good luck for the future, actually. So, guys, I think we pretty much covered everything. But if you have any question in your mind, actually, that uh, you're looking for answer, you can ask in their community. And also, as you know, the guys like the Blocksquare offers a jurisdiction that agnostic protocol adaptable to diverse regulatory frameworks by supporting a growing network of global partners and maintaining the close collaboration with the regulators and the Blocksquare worldwide to leverage the blockchain-based fractional ownership with confidence and complaints. So you can come in and also you can join here so on. So just let me check, is there any question or not? I can see a lot of question actually they have in their mind. So guys, do your own research and ask if you have any question in their social. Okay, another question I think, Dennis, which is very important to know about your security and the regulatory complaints. I forgot to ask it. So could you share a bit about like how secure you are actually? Like how does your Blocksquare ensure the security for the people and their data and regulatory complaints of tokenized real estate asset across different countries?
Security is definitely one of the most important aspects of any type of investment platforms or systems or anything, right? Because in the end, you're dealing with value, people are transacting with value. So this is something that needs to be addressed from day one. Um, from on the blockchain security side, we're working with one of the leading security companies in the world, which is Haken. So all our smart contract audits are being created and audited by Haken. So far, we've received really high scores. Not maybe in the first instance, because how an audit works, it's a process, right? Where a good auditor will give you back feedback on, or give feedback on the improvements you need to make. But there's also kind of an internal process within our company before we actually go and submit a smart contract for auditing. Um, the second part, obviously, is the off-chain security. And here I'm proud that we have a partnership with Medius, which is one of the leading companies here in the region. And they work with clients that require very high security standards. And it means as well that the company has certain certificates in place, and they apply them on all their kind of engineering processes, and how they deal with security with clients. So when it comes to data security, so personal data, we obviously are bound to perform KYC and AML required checks because of AML regulation. So KYC, we partner with ZignSec, which is a company from Sweden. Um, they create or execute the verification in the back, and then we don't store any sensitive personal data on our servers. So no copies of documents, IDs, or anything is stored on our end, but it's stored compliantly with GDPR with on ZignSec's side, and then deleted. So what we do is we only parse certain pieces of information that is required to hold be stored on our end by AML regulation in Europe. And nonetheless, we are GDPR compliant or need to be GDPR compliant, which means as well how we handle the data internally and access to this data. And on the other end, AML compliant as well.
Okay, so I can assure people like as the way that he explained, they're 99.99% secure actually. No worries about this issue. So you can just join, you can have a look. And also if you want to know more, that is RWA asset actually. RWA I can say. do Google, do some your own research and so on. By the way, Dennis, like if a new investor or new people they don't know the details about RWA actually, but they want to make their money. So do you have any kind of tutorial videos or what kind of training or support that you offer for your platform and also for the new people?
That's a great question, actually. So our team has put a lot of effort into education. So we have different online education resources where from our documentation to our YouTube channel. I invite anyone to who wants to learn more about tokenized real estate to see to check out Blocksquare's YouTube channel. We have a bi-weekly show there called Block Chat. And Block Chat is currently, I think it's episode 108, airing this tomorrow, I think, or something like that. And there you will be also able to learn more about tokenlytics. It's going to be presented by Makram and Daniel. Um, Daniel's the lead on tokenlytics and the brain behind tokenlytics, actually. Daniel used to work at JP Morgan and has vast experience in the banking sector and risk management. And tokenlytics is one way that any any new person or newcomer into real estate investments or tokenized real estate investments can easily understand the underlying financials or the risk metrics, the risk perspective of investing in a specific real estate asset. What we'll be doing as well with Tokenlytics is posting podcasts that will examine the Tokenlytics reports for individual properties so that our community will be able to learn about these properties more in depth and how they are structured.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, guys, like they have their training facilities, no worries. Like they'll support you. I can say they'll guide you actually if you have any difficulties or any problem to understand something actually. So I can say they offer a variety of training and support resources to help the clients get the most out of their platform. So like yeah, that's all I think. And no worries. Just to join and do your own research. So, Danish, I think we covered pretty much everything about your Blocksquare, but do you have anything else, any special things that you want to share with us, or any closing remarks then?
So first of all, thank you, Emma, for hosting this space, and the Eagles and the Eagles, of course, for organizing. I see we have a big crowd in front of us. So hope everyone enjoyed and received some new information. Those who follow Blocksquare, and those who are new to learning about Blocksquare. Um, I think the markets have shown that it's risky maybe when it comes to RWAs as well, and that people should do their own research. Look for projects that have been tackling RWA for a long time. Newcomers are going to have a hard time. They might have great funding, great teams, but understanding the intricacies of RWA is a challenge. And there's companies around that have been looking at their own RWA challenge for 5+ years. Look for them because they have managed to survive um, ups and downs in the crypto market, and they're still kicking and working on things. And I think that shows that shows perseverance and the ability to adapt, the ability to keep on going in solving certain things that are very tough. RWAs is very much regulatory connected, so it's tough. It's a tough cookie to crack, let's say. And I will end my remarks by saying anyone who wants to get involved in what we do, we have an amazing ambassador program. Anybody can join to it. Go to oceanpoint.fi and look for the ambassador program there. It's an online onboarding first part, and then afterwards, there's opportunities to collaborate within the ambassador ecosystem, forming regional hubs. And there's a million BST that's been allocated to promote activities within those hubs. So, anyone interested in this, please take a look. Thank you for being here today and having me. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you, Danish, for having here, for your time. Wish you good luck, actually. And also, thank you all of our community members like who are listening today. And guys, if you missed anything, just you can hear from the recording and invite your friends and family to know more about the Blocksquare, actually. So wish you good luck for the future, Dennis, and have a nice day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, bye, everyone.